we got 8:30. Get started. Anybody else coming?
I was told that HRA was going to be here in full quorum, so that's what, do you remember hearing that?
I do, on the recording.
Yeah, so,
Apparently they're not.
no, so that's the
Boy,
only no.
One of us is here. All right, well, let's get it pledged.
Oh,
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So that we have the public forum. Anybody wants to bring anything up on that? I don't think there is anybody, so we'll just move forward. Consideration of the agenda. Has everybody read the agenda? Do we have any additions?
can we add the CD expiring in July on there?
All right, so we might have,
I don't think we need to.
because we have two more meetings.
It doesn't mature until July 31st.
We have June meeting and July meeting.
Oh, July 31st is the expiration date?
Well,
Oh,
for
I
the money,
didn't-
yeah, so I
Okay.
think we're good.
Oh, we're fine.
So then we'll skip that.
I apologize.
No worries.
So we have a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second,
I'll second.
motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Any changes to the minutes? Two?
7.1. It should say why the strategic plan isn't followed.
Yeah, I saw that.
I would also maybe like to table this portion just to expand the breadth of that conversation in the minutes.
Which section again was that?
7.1.
7.1 under old business on the
Okay.
minutes.
And bring them back to the next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to make that as a motion?
I'll motion. I'll move it.
So are we, what's the motion?
Table the minutes until the next, to fix, to expand the breadth of 7.1.
And what would we, and then just to take a side conversation, how do we want to expand that, do you think?
I would just like a little bit more detail of the conversation because I feel there was more that was stated in this conversation. And if this is going to be the minutes of record, I think just expanding a couple sentences of breadth is important.
And then on today's agenda, we have that discussion of, oh, no, that's old business, sorry. Yeah, then, so the motion is made to table that. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's carries. Financial reports.
Yeah, so relatively for April, in the grand scheme of things, nothing out of the ordinary. I'm just gonna preface it before we get to it, but the only unique thing that's going on is Mia's Cafe is not paying on their loan. I do know Mark Heitland has been in contact with, I believe it's the mom. And I'm under the impression that that is going to get paid. I just haven't had a chance to talk. I don't think Mark was there this morning. I haven't had a chance to talk with him on that. So that's the big, I guess, issue in the financials right now, right? Other than that, everybody's paying as performed. So the balance sheet, 201 had a fund balance of 133,499. 202 had a fund balance of 71,598. And the RLF fund, or 203, had a fund balance of 386,733 for a total EDA fund balance of 591,830. We do have that CD maturing, which we'll talk about. I think that's a separate item. Nothing unique going on on the income statement for 201 there. The major expenses are just the routine stuff, you know,
Insurance,
wages,
et cetera.
insurance, things like that. And there's detail back there. Nicole provides the like, invoices. I don't feel
I
it's
didn't see
necessary to go
anything.
through. Yeah. So I'm not gonna do that. For both 202 and 203, aside from me is not paying, a lot of these borrowers actually prepaid their April payment in March, so there's not a lot of activity in April. Not a big deal. It's just, you'll notice that, there's less activity. And that's the reason for it. So other than that, I really have nothing, I understand there's other concerns that I had, so let me know if anybody has questions. No?
Just to clarify for our financials, the audit piece for the EDA is taken care of, correct? As part of the city audit? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, just want to make sure.
Yep, correct.
Thank you.
And yeah, and you'll see, Dan, if you go through like I call them the income statements, there's a pre-audit 2025 column. Obviously, the 2025 audit isn't done yet. So, once that gets done, I believe Nicole updates those to reflect what the true numbers are.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, do we want to then move forward to that 7.2 CD?
7.2,
Because the 7.1 is, that discussion is tabled
oh, that's it, but yeah, I got it. Sorry, I was reading the old minutes.
under old business.
And if that's what, since we're talking about it,
I just tabled the minutes from our last meeting, not necessarily if there's any conversation. Yeah. But,
Okay.
too.
Well, we can discuss a little bit too.
If there's anything to discuss.
I've been thinking about the Orvis property and the previous conversations that we have had on it, you know, and as to, we've had conversations as to whether it should be rezoned, you know, as to general business or one of the other things, light industrial, et cetera. And our conclusion, the previous meeting, was we have no need to do that because there's no interest really in the property, any serious interest, but maybe we should consider doing that at some point in time and actually maybe look at thinking about what could be done with the property. You know, maybe that property could be, we wouldn't necessarily have to start with anything elaborate from SEH. We could start thinking about it on our own. The property could be potentially rough graded, you know, at a modest cost. And we could think about ourselves, how we would tie in with the existing loops that are going in south, and think about also potentially what the road structure might look like out there. No reason we can't do that. So,
Yeah, I wonder almost if it would make sense to, I'm thinking of that field in North Branch where the coke plant is, and they've kind of been developing that. I wonder if that's kind of a very similar, like, I don't know if it's private developer owned or EDA owned or how that works, but if they've just kind of been chipping away at it a little bit at a time. So I wonder if that's something that we look at the grand scheme, the big picture, and kind of come up with the big picture and then work towards that goal.
I mean, ultimately, you know, what drives the conversation? Do we have SEH go in and say, yeah, this is what we would recommend? Or do we kind of look at it first and then ask them, you know, what avenue we're interested in potentially to develop that property? Right now, if you took somebody to look at it, it's just kind of a scrubby piece of property. So my thinking is at a minimum, we should think about going in there and grading off the hill that's in the back and removing the trees and just make it look like that it's got a little more potential than it does now.
Let the fire department had a bird control burn.
Well, you know, the house, you know, everything is gone now, but it's an asset.
I tend to agree with you, and that's kind of been the genesis of my bringing this around, is just, it's an asset, and we all know that things take years to happen, so
Yeah. We move things along now.
and we've got, from the city side, we've been working with what we can do with the grant portion of it and finishing that green section as it's referred to or whatever, but how can we play it all in? And I think working with the city planner's office might be a good resource, because I think she's probably in contact with people that are interested with property more than anybody. I appreciate SEH, but the longer we can keep that check in the checkbook.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I mean, any engineering, any architectural help, all of that type of stuff, you know where they're coming from. You know, it's fee enhancement ultimately. So if you can kind of hold that aside for a while, you know, just we pare that down to the minimum of what we need. You know, not necessarily where they want to run, you know, with that.
Have to have it platted out, but like you said, rough graded and utility stubbed in. Then if people are interested, they at least got
We have a starting point.
starting
Yeah,
point.
it's not just a field, that's,
Yeah, some in a suit or whatever. I don't know if we can do something like that, but just to,
You know, and then we're doing something. The other thing is, of course, if we start doing something, then it's where's the cash come from? And then it propels a conversation that, you know, when we get back to, you know, determining what our tax increment stipend is, it should be raised up to the maximum so we can have funds to work with.
Well, yeah, especially if we're gonna start pouring it into
Yeah.
a marketable asset.
You know.
Or, you know,
I think that conversation becomes a little bit easier through the budget and the community, when we can say, hey, community, this is what we're doing to try to stimulate economic development and the asset that we already own. That's why we need the money. Community would be, oh, okay, that makes, in my opinion.
so do we, hang off that, excuse me, do we maybe just, I don't know, I'm far from a expert when it comes to land and land development, but do we just maybe start with a preliminary list of these are the first 3 things we, you know, excavate just so we have a general idea. We're not sitting here
Well,
spinning our wheels.
You know, just in terms of the grading, I mean, we could talk with some of the local contractors, you know,
Yeah.
or some of the regional contractors, but the local contractors would be a good place to start because their equipment is here. Driver, say for example, and then just say, you know, what do you think? What could you do this for? Then we'd have a start.
Send out for RFP, that way we're keeping it.
No,
Who's responsible for sending that out?
If this committee directs staff to do that, we would put it together and look for your approval and get it posted. Put it in the paper or the website.
I mean, we're asking for a proposal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, and they have experience in grading property and soil types, et cetera. You know,
And that doesn't cost, that's just staff time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And-
Which has a cost.
And if we post it in the paper, it's very little charge for that.
I think we should do that.
I totally agree.
Is that a motion?
I'll make that motion. Then we go ahead and send out a request for a proposal to do grading work on the Orvis property. We have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion made to do that and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Do you want to wait till the next meeting for it to be approved, or do you want us to just send it,
I think just
just
go ahead.
email it out? And-
Yeah. Send it out.
How long do you want it posted for? Would you like RFPs back before the next meeting so you could actually
I
read
think,
them?
I think it's gonna be,
If we
yeah,
get
that's
it
a
done
month. I
quickly?
think it's more than enough time for them to go out there and.
Yeah. Okay, we'll try and get this done right away.
Yeah.
And the work is to grade the property.
They're upgrading.
When we do that, do we just, as general posting, or do we send, can we also send things out to specific contractors? In case they're not watching,
We don't typically do that.
unless we, as individuals, maybe call.
Yeah, if it's public though, I don't see why there's any wrongdoing for.
No, I mean,
It's just saying.
just so they're aware.
Yeah, of course, I'd rather support local if we can.
Yes.
That's,
It should be cheaper to have someone that's.
It should be, but it isn't always.
is there anything specific, Mike, with that property? I mean, if you just said, you know, just
We just
excavating,
you go out,
hell
take,
no.
we go out and take a look at it.
Okay.
Basically, what do you think? We'd ask them, what do you think we need to do with this property?
There was no
Level it out.
tanks or anything crazy in the ground.
No,
It was
it was all
all
taken out.
There's a cap well though, right?
Yeah, there is on the property.
I think that's it.
That little postage.
There's a base that was taken out.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, and then also then, as long as we're still on this Orvis property, what about the whole rezoning, the bit of it? What do you think? We wouldn't have to do anything yet.
That's the thing, we would have to go there yet. Let's maybe,
I like a zone to suit or kind of like again, I'm thinking of that field in the coal or next to the coal plant in the North Branch. That's like, we've got 1 gig fiber, city sewer, city water, put your business here. I kind of we don't care what it is, just come here and give us your tax money kind of
Yeah,
Yeah, check with the city planner's office to make sure, but I tend to agree. At least we can update when people are looking, so it's not agriculture open
they're not
space.
thinking, oh, I can only put a farm store here. or
Right.
something.
yeah.
Lobby to change this and.
What is our plan to expedite that then? Make that change? How would that work? Do we request it here?
Yeah,
To change the zoning?
or like a zone to suit or kind of something. Like, yeah, just kind of, if there's. Get another Scott sized business that wants to move in and scoop up the entire lot, that's great, sure, you're doing business, but we could get.
Yeah, I mean, it's unlikely,
Or you
not
could,
impossible, but
Right.
unlikely.
or you could get. A top and business underneath, or. We don't, we depend on the proposals that come forward and who's looking for land in that.
So like those options that Leslie laid out on page 22 and 23. You know, you've got 6 options. Do you have any thoughts on those like that? I'm thinking maybe that number 5 is industrial and general technology.
I was just looking at that too. It's fine.
Business flex and mixed use too. It'd be so nice to be able to pop MinDOT out there and have that chunk in town. Oh,
But I'm thinking, you know, that MinDOT thing actually might be better and they might be more suited to that lot that's on the corner on where McDonald's is situated. On that corner.
They had been, I had heard some rumors at one point in
Yes,
time
me too.
that they want to move to, or someone wants to move to a scale, so then the city, the county, and DOT could all share the same salt shed, and that's all based on how much you take, and you get billed for what you take, kind of a situation. I don't know if there's any, I heard that a few years ago, but I don't know if there's something to implement or any.
They move at a slow pace.
On the city website, though, it does say the Orvis property is open to rezoning for development. So we have it listed like that already.
You know, and maybe that's fine. Maybe that's sufficient.
Cause it lets lets someone interested know, oh, there's possibilities. It's not set for certain.
Well, okay. Let's, we can set that one aside for the time being then. Move on to 7.2. Josh.
During CD, yeah, so if you guys look on page one of the financials, we have a Stern CD and it's actually in the packet here as well. Let me, CD that matures here on June 5th. This was a 6-month CD. Currently paying 3.9%. As I stated before, I kind of want to, the goal is ultimately with these CDs is to get them as close to about having one mature about every 3 months, every quarter, just for liquidity purposes. So as it sits now, we have one that matures 6/5/26, which is this one. Then we have one maturing the end of July. We have one that matures in October, and then one in February. Okay. What I'm proposing is for this 6/5 one, maybe we just, I say we probably do maybe another year, or we extend this out for a year. It'll put us out to next June, which we'll have one in February and June. Okay, we're 4 months out, close enough, I guess. And then the ones that mature in July and October, I think we can look at different terms to kind of just stagnate them to get to the 3 months. So what I did is I reached out to Northwood, Stearns, Franson for 12-month rates. Northwoods doesn't even have a 12-month, they have 11 months and it's 3.15. So I don't suggest we do that. Doug, you said, I think 3.5, right? Yeah. Stearns has a 3.5 on a 12-month and so does Franson is 3.5 on a 12-month too. So, I mean, if it were me, for simplicity, if we're cool going with a 12-month, I'm just gonna say, let's just do a 12-month at Stearns, you're gonna get the same rate. And I'd say we roll the small 100,000 plus whatever the accrued interest is into that.
Not a motion by anybody?
What's the accrued interest on that?
No, yeah, I did. I mean, I could probably figure it out roughly, but it doesn't matter.
The only question I have is, should we be peeling that interest up and putting it somewhere else? Or and just rolling 100 grand over, or does it?
Oh, mind you, we got 137,000 in liquid cash right now. We have another CD that matures next month with about the principal is about 51.5. I mean, we're not doing anything with the money right now,
No.
so we might as well, in my opinion, we might as well.
Compound interest, get some interest on our interest. Yeah. And I'd make the motion just to roll it at Stearns.
Do we have a second?
I'm going to abstain. Please.
Dan seconds. Motion made to roll the CD over to Stearns. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Is that something that does something be signed, move that to a 12-month?
Yeah, I think we'll have to have minutes.
Because it
change.
wasn't
That's 'cause
nice.
it's six months.
Yeah, there's something like that. With the time, so we do have to go sign.
I'll have Julie reach out to you.
Thank you.
Okay, 7.3, the Lakeside Housing Loan. Deal on that one.
Believe he was, because he missed last month, had some type of family issue. And he is not here.
Is he planning to be here today?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, that's what he has said, that he would be here this
He
month.
had said at HRA
Yeah,
that he wouldn't be able to make it to last month's EDA.
I personally did not reach out to him, but that's what I understood is he was coming. He couldn't make it last month. He'd be here this month.
Well, maybe we push that off to the next meeting
Okay.
and then give him a reminder.
Yeah, the good thing is we still have time, but December's gonna come quicker than you realize, so.
Does that mature for principal and interest this December?
I think if I was asking to alter a loan, I don't think I would need a reminder. That's just me.
Yeah, well, I think you're right. Should be here. He said he was gonna be here.
Or at least provide the financial information. That's just my,
Yeah. I mentioned this before, I mean, obviously we want to support him, right? Is he asking for an extension because there's a need? Or is he asking for an extension because it's cheap? Those are two different things, in my opinion. So, if we wanted the financials to analyze that, obviously we're gonna need some time. So yeah, it'd be ideal if he can maybe get here one of these meetings relatively quickly, so we have time to analyze that stuff.
I guess we have to pretty much have to hear from him to make a decision.
Right.
You know, based upon what our feeling is in terms of what he's presenting to us. Okay, well. 7.4, the Ascot land purchase. How's that coming?
I put that on there just because at last week's council, council approved to move forward with Ascot and the 0.88 or 80 acre of city property. So Ascot is putting together the purchase agreement for us to bring over to the city attorney, and then I'll go back to council for final approval.
So that'll be coming up. You think that'll be coming up for the council meeting in June?
We can get it back. It
Be
could.
nice.
I haven't heard back from Ascot, so
Maybe we need to just kind of touch base a little bit more just to move that along.
Yeah, cause it sounds like he wanted his foot on the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dollar, right? I mean, that.
Yeah.
Okay. And did,
They
Roll call.
Well,
They backed out.
Oh.
they were actually at the meeting
Yep.
too. It came as well.
yeah, they were there for their myth.
Were there any comments from them?
They are gonna be looking down the road at another parcel in the industrial park, possibly, but you know,
Did they say which one?
I assumed the one over by the public works.
The long one. Yeah.
Cause I think it's more for storage that they're looking at
Mhm.
and, yeah, but they're not looking right now. I think their plate's pretty full, so.
They were
Yeah, they
very,
can't give them the gun range.
they were excited for Ascot, excited for the growth.
Yeah,
Well, that's good.
Wished them,
They worked
wished them
together.
well, wished them luck.
the growth is exciting though, so.
I don't know if this is the right place, but, I think we may have screwed up on that a little bit and not, I think there's some steps that we missed with selling that for $1 because it's a business subsidy. And doesn't there need to be a business subsidy agreement? And I don't think that will hold up the sale itself, but I think we missed some steps.
Yeah, so before the meeting last week, Tabitha and I talked to the city Jason from Ellers on the financial steps, because he would be involved with a subsidy. So we had every step in place for what would happen, because we kind of thought how it went, it would be how it went. And so now we just have to, which is okay, we just need to stay under. Like
Just-
you are.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I know I looked for that business subsidy agreement and other subsidies that the city has not.
It follows the same line as like a tax abatement, and because it's, yeah, to show the financials and so.
I put that on council. I'm not saying it was like, I just got to
Yeah,
looking back, like I
yeah.
think we, as a council, might have screwed this up and missed some steps here. So I just want to make sure not muddying this up or causing any.
Yeah, and talking with Jason, had it been like detrimental, we would have stopped it, but, yeah, moving forward.
Good. Okay, 8.1, new business. What's that one all about?
This goes back to the account that is, as of end of the week, will be 3 months behind.
Mia's.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be, I'd like to double check with Mark on this. I mean, the vibe I got from him is this thing's gonna get caught up. Just, what's your other option? Pursuing foreclosure? I mean, that doesn't look good,
No.
right? So
We've had a few other things over the years where we just basically, you just have to drag your feet for a while.
yeah, and it seems like Nicole's on top of sending out the invoices and everything, so I'll just, if
We might be having a cash crunch.
I would say, is this
I think-
indicative of the industry that he's in or they're in and trying to adapt and overcome on the fly?
Yeah, unless we want them to come in and talk. I mean, that's the only other option, but I don't know if that's something we.
This isn't a revolving loan deal, is it? Isn't it
Yeah, it's an SC,
a small city?
CDP.
So
I mean, it's, and
who
it's
drafts these documents for those?
$1,200. Like the loan agreement itself?
Well, loan agreement and note,
Question, I don't know.
there's some errors.
Like,
on
type
the-
of errors.
Well, the promise. Did he borrow 26,200 or 2,600?
2,600. Oh, I see at the top there, sure. I have no idea who drafts these up. Oh, this document was drafted by the city of Hines City. Three,
Yeah, I was confused for that too, when I was trying to figure out if the 2,600 was like a 10% or a payment for the 26,000 or what?
well, his payments are like 40, $45 a month.
So it's not 26,000.
No, he owes like 1,200 on it, I think. 13, it's not a lot. I don't know, maybe that's something we should, or the city should maybe
Yeah, maybe.
amend that promissory note just to correct it, just to. Yeah. It was just under $1,300.
But it's like wrong within the loan agreement. Page 2.
Yeah, it's just a propelling error.
Oh, yeah.
Lakes and drafted it.
Lakes and Pines?
Yep. Yes, she is. Yeah, with this one. She's been texting me too.
Okay. Well, I say we get it corrected,
Yeah.
whatever that may be, and that'll fix the
Do what
issue.
you have to.
And then I will, if everybody's okay with that, like I said, I'll double check with Mark and I can send out an email, I think, just to
Yeah.
kind of get an update on
Where that's
where
going.
that's at, where it's going, you know.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I think we're having a much different conversation if we're talking $100 versus 26,000.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, moving on to 9.1, vacancy. Where's that going with Ivan?
Yeah, he's confused,
I'm
so,
confused, and he's not here.
right,
You can't, discussion at council, the concern is to make sure that we don't run into an issue where, say we have a CD at, Cranston, that would make too much of the board or make a quorum of the board ineligible for voting. I think we're gonna look into that with the city attorney. Have we heard back?
I went to the league's attorney first, and that's where I've taken it. It is not any kind of like violation. However, like you said, with the
It's a
CD,
concern.
it is a concern because it would be 2 seats that would have to abstain with anything regarding Branson. So,
I'm not an employee of the bank.
No, it's the financial, it's owned by the same person. So it is in the best financial interest of the entity.
So what do we want to do?
do we want to get actual city attorney recommendation?
So, I'd like to see, I don't wanna tell anybody no. I think that the EDA would be a good spot for him. I do have concerns as far as eligibility and voting and that kind of situation. But yeah, I think if we reach out to the city attorney, that
Yeah.
would be,
I don't think in the scheme of things that it's, if 2 people abstain on something like that, it's not earth shaking. It's not like there's some under the table land purchase or development agreement or something where people are manipulating public policy.
then do we want to pursue?
storage.
Going to the city attorney, we will incur $100, $300 to review this. Minimal.
I personally think the risk is minimal, but
It's basically, if you go research the state statute and then through the league, they've both said the same thing, that you just have to make sure you abstain where it is. Yeah.
Do we spend that money?
Yeah, that's where I kind of stopped. 'Cause
I mean, that's your recommendation?
I stopped because I didn't want to spend the money without real clear direction, because it would be EDA funds. I would put that to. So,
This, I'll make the motion that we get a quick once over from the city attorney, and as long as everything looks groovy,
And then we would approve him.
and then we would approve.
and I can do an email to all the members. too,
And then we
hopefully
should-
get that back.
And we should tell him that too,
Okay.
just out of courtesy.
Do you want that from me?
Yes.
Okay.
A second for that motion?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to get an opinion on that sheet from the attorney and then move forward. That's positive to have Mark Eibland join the board. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
So what's nice too is I have everything in writing from the league, so I'll just forward that and then an email to the city attorney. Usually when I send the league's attorney back up with, does cut the time down in his. So,
That'd be nice.
yes, because it adds up quickly.
Anything else going on?
Audit went great. They were here last week.
That's
so,
good.
Yeah.
It's
We're very
it's
much-
amazing the change now versus like 3 years ago.
so when's the expected final?
We are hoping he is, I don't have any wood, but I would like, we are looking for the first meeting in July that he'll present the 2025 audit.
Yeah, that's early.
I was thinking for our next meeting and potentially meetings moving forward, would it behoove us to start having some goal setting sessions or start talking about some goals? What we want to do as an authority moving forward. I know at the special council meeting, we had talked about if we have the ability as an authority to offer different loan programs, can we make our loan packages larger than 50,000? Is there things that we can do to try to set goals to stimulate economic development? Just a thought.
Yeah, I mean, we could certainly have more discussion on that. Absolutely.
Have a recurring like new business item or business item that's just goal setting or strategy or a little bit every meeting. And you just dedicate a whole meeting to it or a special. I think if we
Do it on a special meeting basis, maybe, or have it as an item on one of our regular meetings. That sounds fine. Is there any more word on the Highway 61 bridge project? And then also I'm curious about the DNR makeover of the whole plan. You and everybody else.
Exciting news too. I wish Brock was here. What I know about the 61 is it's gonna be officially starting next summer. And their hope is to have one side open, one side closed. That's the extent I know.
Well, starting not this year, next year.
Next year.
not this year, but next year. And they don't know, no one knows. I had heard at one point in time that they were gonna do the boat launch concurrently with the bridge, so they only had to pull the DNR and this county could pull one sort of permit for the agitation of the water. I think Mark had said that if they can do it right, they won't have to pause like they did with their Snake River Bridge, where they had to stop working for 6 months or something like that in the middle of summer. So I think that's what they were working on, but we asked at the our city county meeting, and they were like, yeah, we don't know. So
It did sound like they were working on, property swapping, right?
There
Like
was-
this part is gonna be owned, like,
Yeah,
Now
that's the
that-
Egg Society.
And there, yeah, it's a bunch of weird little lots that they were cleaning up, and so the easements were gonna be an issue.
Oh,
But
that's what I heard. There's really has been an update on that, right?
I haven't heard anything either.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in that because our Lions Club is kind of moving into doing some of the redevelopment of Cheline Park. So last week, we've been planning to redo the boat dockage and just fishing dockage down there to rehab the one dock that is been sitting in the weeds down there. That's gonna be moved to by the garage basically, and then we're gonna redeck that, order new pontoons, the floats, and then there's the shoreline redevelopment, that we have a grant for, et cetera. So we committed $20,000 initially for that, but our long-term thinking is that with the picnic pavilion and paths and other things, that ultimately over a 4 or 5 year time frame, that, and with other clubs also, it could be 200,000. So that area is gonna change.
Well, we saw this presentation last council meeting.
Mhm.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah. It'll take a while because, like in our case, we don't have gambling funds anymore, which at the time when we developed the Voyager Park by the VFW, we had tons of money, and so we plowed about $350,000 into that one. But now we have some monies that we got from the Robbins estate those won't last long, and then we make a lot of our money basically from the fair, which if we have a really good fair is 40,000 plus. So it takes a while, but we spend it.
Fantastic.
So that's all I've got.
Any side note, but any updates on the city building? I mean, when is,
15 Main, I haven't.
yeah, I mean, is that just,
He's keeping the property mowed.
yeah,
I have heard.
But there was going to be something happening, and there's vehicle activity there, but I guess that's all I've seen.
He's got an office in the building.
Okay.
I should check with him. I should call him up and see. Just thinking.
He heated it all winter. So, yep.
Yep.
Just huge.
Huge bill.
oh, yeah,
I mean, good for maintenance and.
I hear he'll do something with the building.
yeah. I just wonder how long, like, I would have thought maybe something was maybe started the summer. Yeah, I don't know.
He's got other irons in the fire and other developments that he's working on, so.
Okay.
Sounded like at least last year he wanted to get people back in there, get it as a functional space again. Short term, as soon as possible.
Get some cash flow going.
Yeah.
and the proverbial rug got ripped up, everyone. That's like Mr. Newman. I don't know if you saw, the apartments that he built in Mora, there was an open house, but he's had to cancel the open house because of back orders on stuff to finish the unit. So there's definitely a burp in the supply chain line right now.
Yeah, there's definitely inflation going on. I saw notices in our industry, which includes a lot of lumber suppliers, that lumber and particularly gypsum products, sheetrock, et cetera, are having significant increases, so. It's inflationary. Anything else? Call the meeting adjourned. Thank